Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to episode number 36 of The Edge. I'm your host, Sean Clark, otherwise known as Police around Azeroth, even though lately I've been known as Laurel, which is my paladin, because I haven't been on my road very much. Because I haven't been, because he's getting some R&R, so much rest and relaxation for Warlords. But anyways, there's a lot to talk about tonight because 6.0 is here. More Blizzcon news has been announced, which we're really excited to talk about. And of course, it's that time of year for Hallows End. So, we're going to get to that. But first, as always, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Matt Lowe. Matt, what's up?
I was going to say the reason why you're not on your rogue is because it's a rogue, but didn't want to be too mean.
Hey, man, rogues are awesome.
Sure. Okay.
Now, remember that when I'm going to be pit-pocking everything and you're going to take anything.
In other news, what is up? Well, we finally killed Garrosh like 5 weeks later. Whatever. We crossed this, we crossed the finish line, so nothing else matters anymore, right?
That's right. That's true.
That's me. Mm-hmm.
Katie, what's up?
Fire. I weep for my week-long glory, and apparently I'm going to be cosplaying at Blizzcon now. Yay!
You cosplay at BlizzCon.
Yes.
As what? As a cosplayer? Yeah. What's your costume?
Somebody found a pseudo namesake of KT, and it's an adorable Pandarin on the Timeless Isle, and I'm gonna do that.
So no one's gonna know what you are.
Nobody's.
Okay. So you're gonna go as nothing. Okay. Heard. Will, what's up?
I'll remember that when you want to pet my luxurious fur.
No. I'll remember that when I make you take it off, and I'll be like, I'm gonna take a picture. Take that off. We don't know where you are.
Whoa.
Not in that way. Not
Uh-huh.
Oh, here we go. Okay. Will, say it,
Yikes.
please.
Speaking of costumes, I'm trying to get the Lich King costume from the Hallows End
It's expensive.
thing, so I am grinding those tricky treats
Yes.
all over the place, and pretty much LOL at Garrosh Mythic when we got that. Sorry, Matt, not to diminish that, but
It's absolutely right. It's so easy now. It's just,
yeah, we'll get into that later.
Yeah,
I
I
heard
guess.
about that, but I missed it.
I've been working on transmog myself, which I know is weird. I was like,
What do you
wait,
look-
what? Sean
what
hates
are you looking for?
transmog.
Alex would be so proud of you.
She would be. Right now, it's
And
just like,
you're
oh
never
my
gonna
god, you're
feel
joking,
it.
right? I'm like, no, I'm not joking.
is there something specific that you're looking for, like a
No,
weapon?
I mean, well, I've been going in and like, I don't know what it was, and this is gonna sound like the dumbest thing, so don't judge me when I tell you this.
Too
But-
late.
We will.
I know, and everyone's gonna be like, "What an idiot!" But anyways, the biggest thing I want to talk about this a little bit later is with 6.0. One of the things I've really enjoyed is the fact that it's so smooth now. It's the game has just, it looks beautiful. The loading and everything is just so much nicer, cleaner. It's more crisp. But that being said, and with the new animations and the new character models, I just looked at my paladin one day and I was just like, I just kind of want to make you look better. So what I've been doing is running MC and BWL for the Judgment and Lawbringer sets just to start, and then I'll go from there. So, and then
Is
I'll work on the
your-
road.
But you
What
don't main
race?
paladin.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Well, I said you don't main in paladin. Will asked you what race it was.
Oh, that's a Blood Elf and Paladin. They're both Blood Elves. My Rogue and Paladin are both Blood Elves.
course.
And I just, for some reason, I think the Paladin sets look better. You remember this Paladin was the very first character I ever created in the game. Ever. So he's kind of has a sentimental value to me. He's the very first character I ever started. So, now I'm kind of going back in and I'm kind of being a little bit nostalgic with some gear and the raids and, so I'm just kind of doing that. But the thing is, I still have a lot of really old gear on my Paladin. Like I have still my very first epic I ever found. I still have my Talesman, my Paladin class Talesman trinket. I have all these things from vanilla that you can't even get in the game. So I'm that guy in trade chat when someone's like, oh guys, look at what I have. I'm like, oh yeah? Boom. Suck on that. I got that in 2004. So enjoy that.
But wait, I'm so confused. Your
What are you
paladin's a blood elf?
Yeah, well,
And
it used to be
vanilla?
Alliance. It used to be
Okay,
Alliance.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
It used to be Alliance. It was a human paladin. That's when I leveled Holy. Remember? We talked about that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then that was when I was on Manoroth, and that was one of the original servers. And then I transferred to Shattered Hand. I played Horde, so I had to make him a Horde Blood Elf. So there you go. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing. But anyways, the point was like, oh man, this game looks so good. I want to look good now. But I'll get to my rogue probably during
We'll
Warlords a
get
little
eventually,
bit. Yeah, it
when
takes
the
time.
Blood Elf models come out.
So something I'm super excited about, which I know Twitter is obviously mixed reactions because everyone on Twitter's everyone.
Yeah.
Metallica is playing at BlizzCon. It's part of the BlizzCon news that we want to get to, and that is so awesome. If you don't like Metallica, you are not a person. Something is wrong with you. Seriously. BlizzCon it's gonna like explode.
I heard that their concerts are actually really good in general.
The concerts are good. Some people are going, oh, it's boring. It's like you're also don't know what you're talking about. Now, I'm a pretty big concert guy. At least I used to be when I was younger. And my good friend and I, who lives in my home state, who I'll be seeing for the first time since last BlizzCon. Him and I used to go on concerts all the time together, seeing all these different bands, and we have never got a chance to see Metallica. So this is another one we're going to cross off the list, which is really, really cool. So I'm very, very, very excited about that. So I know I'm super pumped. How about you guys? Are you guys excited to see Metallica this year? Or are you kind of sad that it's Metallica? You're not allowed to say you're sad, by the way.
No, I'm
Against the
excited.
rules.
I mean, how can give me fuel, give me fire? No, I think it's really cool because Metallica concert tickets are more than BlizzCon tickets just in and of themselves for like Nosebleed. Usually, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
they're pretty
Metallica prices were up
expensive.
there. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that's great about it.
So BlizzCon tickets are $200, and Metallica tickets are more than that.
Sometimes, yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't doubt
Like,
it. Yeah.
I know friends that bled for for Metallica tickets, and they just kind of looked at me and they're like, "You just get to in a on the floor small venue," and they needed to change their panties. It was amazing.
Something else that was really weird too, I just want to throw in here real quick, because I was in the other room, as in the living room earlier. My girlfriend jumped on my PC to finish up some stuff, homework and all that. But my point was I was playing some Hearthstone on my iPad. And, of course, the very first person I start playing ranked against is some guy named Jay Hetfield. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Is this like a joke? It's got to be a joke. Like, he played a hunter, and he actually beat me, and I was really sad, so...
That's not saying much, Sean.
I know, I should quit games altogether, period.
Hey, not everybody's a legendary Hearthstone player. Jeez.
I know, not everyone is Asian and has Asian blood in them.
Throws buckets of money at cards.
Golly. Yeah, what's that like anyways?
I did want to add, actually, about the whole Metallica thing. Like, I'm seeing a lot of mixed feedback and reactions to it. Like, there's a lot of people on Twitter and Facebook that are kind of... I don't know if I want to go see Metallica because they're all against Napster and that sort of thing. Like, really, man?
Napster was 15 years ago.
I know. I'm thinking.
WTF is Napster.
I'm seeing more references. Like, I saw this one tweet. This guy was saying something like, "I've seen more references to Napster today than I have the past 10 years combined." I thought, that's pretty accurate.
Real.
Yeah. Like, no one cares anymore.
For real.
I think everyone's got to embrace the fact that we download music. It's like because I mean, look at things like Spotify. Not even, I mean, you too, but I mean, look at things like Spotify. I mean, you get all this free music, but you just pay for, you gotta listen to a couple commercials unless you pay to get the premium service, in which you don't listen to commercials. Either way, you're paying, whether it's ad revenue from them or you're paying for a premium account. So that's kind of how the way it works now.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone, as Sean introduced this, everyone's going to have that opinion out there. And I remember last year, was it Blink 182, right?
Ugh.
And there was exactly. Your reaction versus another 30,
that dude with green
fingernails
and orange hair that spiked up. I bet he loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly, so
that was terrible. I actually, the last couple hours I was there at BlizzCon last year, I actually waited in line for Heroes of the Storm. That's what I did instead of going to the concert. So I was actually listening to that crappy music as it was blaring in the main convention hall as I was playing Heroes of the Storm, which I was very upset about actually. So it ruined my experience.
First world problems.
I'm probably one of 5 people that enjoyed Blink 182.
So overall, collectively, are we in agreement that Metallica's good?
Yes.
Okay. Will's kind of
sure. I'm not going. So
I'm curious. Okay, now, what kind of music do you listen to?
It.
Are you like one of those bluegrass kind of people?
No.
You kind of strike me as one of those I'm
in that area. Yes, you are correct.
Okay, I thought so. Oh, so you're like what, Skinnerd?
No. Like I'm
CCR.
I'm in the region of the country where that would be what I should do, but no.
So you like what, K-pop?
Complete variety of whatever. So
Matt likes K-pop.
Well, he is Asian.
Dude, just because I used to play DDR a lot does not mean I like K-pop. Yeah.
There's a lot of K-pop. Whenever I stream, there seems to be a few people who come in and like change the
J-pop,
music
K-pop,
to be
whatever it is.
K-pop.
Right.
I'm like,
Hey,
K-pop
you
is there.
can have the best of both worlds. There's baby metal.
yes, that's good.
I love baby metal. They're adorable in metal.
Yeah,
That's great.
I don't think Matt appreciates it.
So one other thing I want to mention real quick for the BlizzCon stuff is that the merchandise pre-sale has started. There are some items that are available now. Obviously, they can be unveiling more items later. You can obviously get them at BlizzCon if you're going, or you can buy them online. I believe it's after BlizzCon. I think it's like that Monday or
it's on the 7th or 11th. Yeah,
it's
like, new stuff comes out on the 7th, and you can always buy through the 11th.
Right. Yeah. So, but for me, I haven't really seen anything on there out of the sale that was any good. Some like light up keychain Hearthstone stuff. There's a satchel, World of Warcraft books satchel. A lot of Heroes of the Storm messenger bag. There you go.
Yeah.
Like Indiana
I'm
Jones.
kind of curious about this Heroes of the Storm bang thing.
The board game.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, but it looks cool.
It's a board game. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
More like boring game. But the only thing I'm really excited for is the plushie. I mean, I like the plushies. I got a lot of them, so that's. But other than that, I don't really care. It's not. I mean, what about you guys? I know Will hasn't really got a chance to take a look because Blizzard has failed to supply him. With
I can't get to the website. I don't know. Maybe it's like they realize I'm not going to be there, so they're like, nope, you don't even get a chance.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
we don't care.
Enter your BlizzCon code. It's like I don't
you
have
already
one.
bought your virtual ticket though, right?
Yeah, but
weird.
I don't know.
I'm sure you'll figure it
out. You guys gonna get anything out of that?
Maybe a couple posters.
Eye humping that fairy dragon.
Fairy dragon, I definitely want. Hopefully, some posters and some other stuff that's revealed at the con is a lot better. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. But if that's
I like the desk mat. I wouldn't mind having a desk mat just because it makes it a little bit more organized and stuff. But there's also a really neat Diablo 3 Shadow of Diablo figure. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's just kind of a struggle within right now to actually go out and make the purchase.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm that way too.
I've had the page open for 2 days and haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, like I'm staring at it too. I'm like, do I want to buy it now or do I want to wait? So
yeah.
Because last year, that's the first thing I did was I went right to the BlizzCon store and I bought a bunch of stuff, like some posters you can see behind me, and just the plushies, and I bought the little toy action figure things of like, what is it? Diablo and Illidan and all those guys. You can kind of see them behind me. They're like really far in the background, but they're there.
I ended up buying everything afterwards because most of the stuff was sold out. Right. Like my Baneling, I got him afterwards.
Oh, here's a trick for BlizzCon, even though we're probably going to have a BlizzCon episode here pretty soon, next couple of weeks. The quarter machine thing's coming back, right? So you get to put the quarters in and you get the little ball things of the action figure. Not really action figures, but you know what I mean. And, but the thing is, if the same woman's working that was there when I was there, if you tell her a couple funny jokes, she will give you quarters for free. That's what happened with me.
Did you flash her?
No, I just kind of told her some funny jokes, and she's like, here you go, some more money. I was like, thanks, lady. I don't think you're supposed to do that,
random.
Though. Yeah. Well, let's see. Niceness goes a long way. But anyways, that's about it. That's BlizzCon. That's what we're excited about. So that's all and that's all I got to say about that.
So have you guys been farming? Oh, I know, Will, you've been farming the tricky treats, but what about you guys for shiny vanity items? No. You have an aversion to sugar?
The Hallows End stuff, like I haven't done the new stuff yet. Obviously I did all the old stuff, but I don't know. I don't really care yet. Hasn't hit me. I care like a couple days before it ends. Then I'm like, oh my god, I gotta do this.
Must do this thing.
I'm always like, I got time.
Yeah, I love being a mage for those because I can port everywhere, and especially with the Alliance camping stuff. But they got lots of new vanity things, 2 new pets. They're ghost kitties, because the internet loves kitties. And why not spooky ghost kitties? Widget the Departed and the Cursed Berman. And also, Will was talking about the Lich King costume. It's not a toy box item. It does have limited charges. And right now it's showing up on vendors for 1,000. But Mumper and Ian Has a Hostess confirmed the other day that it's going to be hotfixed to 500. That might have gone out today. I don't remember. But it's definitely obtainable, of course. If you guys haven't done Hallows End in the past, you're probably going to want to kind of split it out between a couple of tunes to get everything. Not to mention the pets are cageable and quite profitable. Everybody's, at least me, I don't know. I'm trying to stockpile the bank and sell everything I can for Warlords because some of that stuff's going to be expensive.
I did hear that some people were having problems with the trick-or-treating in the Blasted Lands because of the phasing.
Yeah.
The thing is if you walk 2 steps into Blasted Lands, like there's a bronze flight dragon right there. You talk to them and you're like, hey, I want to see what it was like before the invasion, and it brings you back. And then when you're done, you just talk back to her and it brings it back to the level 90 stuff. Right. It's really easy. I can't fathom why so many people struggled with that.
Well, that's just one of those things I guess is worth mentioning. If you didn't know the dragon was there, and now you know, so you can go back and do your trick-or-treating. Because the trick-or-treating goes really fast because the flying mounts, I mean, that doesn't take very long. So
yeah, and Matt, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say I did 5 of those, and all I got was like trick every time. So I just...
Yeah, that's annoying.
Done.
I did get the 16-slot pumpkin bag in Molten Core today.
Huh.
So
because you need another 16-slot bag, huh?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have it. I mean, like, I've never had that, so I was like, well, I guess I have this now. Yippee skippy. Not quite a royal. It's not quite a royal satchel, but I'll do.
Nope.
It'll do, pig.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't know that was in there.
The pumpkin bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know it could drop off of anything. I wasn't aware of that, but now I know.
Yeah, my biggest grind has been for the Horseman's Reigns.
Oh, I got those like years ago. I got so lucky. Oh, here's a fun story for you. This will make you angry. So, first day of Hallows End, like 3 years ago, right? I load in, and I was like, my buddy of mine, the old tank of mine, I've mentioned quite a few times during podcasts. He's been trying to get this thing forever. I load in, very first character, first kill, it drops, and I'm like, well, I'm done. That was it.
So bad.
I'm that guy. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, I know.
I've got it. Matt, do you have it? So we can make Katie feel bad.
Oh yeah, of course. I got rid of it a long time ago though.
Yes.
Like all, 2.
You've got more than one and you deleted it, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, why would I just keep it around? Like
I hate you all right now. I have like 790s and I am running all of them through every single day because I want that mount. Because it was stolen from me. Like, I had a friend that like offered to speed up my queue and tank it on an alt several years ago, and it dropped on the first run. And they were like, yeah, I know I said I was gonna let you have it, but I'm not, so bye. And this was before, because they were, and it was before like mounts were account wide, so it was one of those like really obnoxious, selfish kind of things that I was like, wow, we've been friends for a while, and you're a douchebag now.
And he got it on an alt?
He got it on an alt. I mean, like, these days it totally doesn't matter because it's account bound, but at the time, this was a couple years before, and it was like his worst of worst alts, but it was the only thing that was a tank, and it collected dust.
That's cold. That's cold.
It is. It's funny how friendships can shatter over pixels.
Well, I'm sure you'll be loving to run those dungeons, run that dungeon over and over again. And have you guys checked out Ubers yet?
Nope.
Is that no?
I went once.
Nope.
Once.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Like, I want that 550 gear for some alts, but I can't even do it on KT and not hate people.
Just gotta
yeah, and it's if you guys haven't, if no one listening has done this yet, it's just sort of a scenario style preview of the revamped dungeon, and it gives a good indication of what you're looking at with dungeons in Warlords. but it's only 3 of the
It's the
bosses,
first 3
right?
bosses, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like so pissed because I'm like, oh man, the next 2 bosses are great in that dungeon because I did them on beta. And I was just like
Yeah.
so let down. I'm like, oh, dang it, we're
Yeah,
not
they're
gonna
not
do
gonna let you
that.
go in there. No.
So
It's not
I don't
worth it.
know.
But
What
the
are
loot,
people?
did you notice? I was gonna say, did you notice that the loot in there changes when you change specs?
Oh, I did
I
not
did
Yeah.
know
not
that.
Did you
notice
notice
that.
that?
Well,
Yeah.
I noticed the loot was personal, so that makes sense
Right.
because when I went through, nobody got a single piece of gear. Like all 5 of us, nobody got anything off of any boss,
Right.
and I was confused. And then,
Well,
yeah,
personal loot, either you get it or you don't, right? So, but when you do,
right.
yeah, but when you do
Well,
get
I
an
was thinking it was bugged because it was on Tuesday and
oh, that's
other
true.
stuff was being weird.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, so when you do get an item, what you can do is you can change specs, and the item in there can change to the tanking variation or the healing variation or whatever. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
so you
kind
get
of
a
a nice little
bonus, yeah.
preview. Yeah, it's a good preview of how that system's going to work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know people keep asking me here and there, like, "Oh, can I switch my gear or can I switch my spec right now and my tier
No,
16 switch?" And I'm like, "No, no,
no, it
that's
doesn't work
we're
that
about
way.
to
Yeah.
Yeah.
drain our gear. It's the gear coming up. Don't worry about it now."
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of instances, soloing raids. Now, Sean, this is kind of more your alley since I know how
Yeah,
much you love Transmog.
I do. Yeah.
Adjustments were made to Ice Crown and Firelands and some of the older raids to make it even easier solo. For example, the gunship, the guns scale with your eye level now, and they kind of go down with like within the first barrage. So I did it on one character on ICC 25 heroic, and the thing just exploded within a couple of seconds. PSA Dreamwalker. A lot of people have a lot of problems with this, especially for you people that don't have healers or whatever. Dreamwalker can now be skipped entirely. Just walk right by the ads, and the doors open on the far end. So not even a
Yay.
thing anymore. You don't have to kill it to open up Arthas either.
hmm
Yeah. Still no invincible for me, so I'm kind of sad, but I'm just gonna keep trying. You know,
is that the
Oh.
one you? Is that the mount you can't see?
invincible, not invisible.
Sorry, I had
Gosh.
to. I
Yeah,
had
yeah,
to.
wise
Hey,
guy.
it's not the Emperor's new mount.
What?
What?
We're all
Um,
just like, what?
the cloak out of is it Lower Blackrock that doesn't have a physical appearance? It's an invisible cloak. The
Oh,
Emperor's new mount. I hate you guys
that
so
was
much
We
right
left you
now.
hanging.
Wah, wah.
Sorry.
Wah wah wah.
Swing and a miss. I'm trying to think. What we all have like, I know me. Like I always am trying to get mounts, and we all have that one mount that we can't get, and for me, it's time lost. Like no matter how much I camp out in Storm Peaks, I'll never get time lost ever. So it's like I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna give up.
See, that's what you need to do is give up, and then it will come to you when you least expect
No,
it.
because I've done that and it still didn't show up. So I'm giving up. Giving up. I'm just done. They didn't get the mounts yet in the game either after the patch for gladiators and stuff for the end of the season either. I think that's coming next
Next week, I think. Yeah.
Mhm.
So for all you guys that grinded out gladiator, no mount yet.
Chat room got your reference.
Yay!
Yay!
You got-
See, they're on my wavelength. Get on my
Smart.
wavelength, yo. Get on my wavelength.
Yeah, we're just friggin' scrubs over here. Like, what are you
Apparently.
talking about?
I guess.
It
I
didn't
don't know.
really. I guess it just didn't make a good impression because we just couldn't see it.
How about that Blasted Lands? We've done Blasted Lands.
Speaking of
Moving
stuff you
forward.
can't see, Mr. Rogue Man. Rogues, if you go pickpocketing out in Blasted Lands right now, you can pick up Griftaw's Whistle, which will be a little more on the relevant side come level 100, because he's a fence and not the picket kind. You can get coins and buy and trade and sell. So if you've got some time to kill, especially if you're sitting out for 20-man Mythic, it's a good way to kill some time and get rewarded for it.
Nice. So 6.0 has been out for about a week, right? About a week, right? Came out last week. And I know we've all been kind of doing, which is kind of weird, but we've all kind of been doing different things in it, which is nice because we've all had little areas of expertise. I know Will tested out some of the raids. So, well, I know you guys, other guys rated too, but
Yeah.
what was your experience?
Say, raid.
I know. Me, and I'm doing everything but rating. Guys, I have a life. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, this raid week only took us 2 nights to get it done, much to our surprise, because we'd been struggling the weeks before 6.0 to get things done on time. Me and Katie both, we keep coming into this going, well, we didn't kill Garrosh again. And now this time, yeah, LOL. It was way undertuned on DPS. But
it would have been nice if that had gone through, not Thursday, because we spent all Wednesday wiping to it because we so much. He had so many hit points, but ads and stuff didn't, that we'd blow up weird spots and actually ended up out over DPSing things, and it wasn't pretty. And then they went back on Tuesday after the hit point fix, and Raffle stomped it in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Was this on Mythic?
Mythic, yeah. Mythic. Phase 4 was still a challenge. I mean, you still had to do your normal stuff with however you handle the what the hell is it called?
Bombardment.
Bombardment and the Malice.
I keep thinking Misery for some reason, but it's not Misery.
That's a different fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you still have to pay attention and do your normal stuff on that last part. But I don't know. My hunter was. We played on Wednesday and Thursday, so my hunter was terrible DPS wise. I was just so sad. I've got 588 gear and just middle to the end of the low end of the pack of DPS. I was crying so hard. But we were able to me and the other hunter were able to do all the belts and siege crafters and engineers on Garrosh and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, boss by boss, Nourishin, all these other bosses. Siege crafter was freaking hilarious. 2 minutes to kill that guy.
Yeah,
Mythic.
I love
We had a really sloppy siege crafter because our raid leadership didn't feel that the hunters would be able to kill stuff in time, so they pulled our hunters off of the belts and threw the rogues and stuff up there. And our hunters didn't know how, they dropped so many blades in the group. It's where have you guys been for the last year? What fight have you been fighting?
Yeah. What? The belts. Even my hunters were we don't have to do the bottom. So I'm come on, just go on the belts and stay up there.
Just get the hell out of here.
we did the belts and we were we better send 4 people per belt because you hunters are terrible. But then we were able to say, oh yeah, we got the belts, we can duo it, so we sent everyone back. But yeah, I was I don't know what to do on the platform. I've been doing the belts since PTR.
Pretty much.
Bombs was fun because LOL Fire Mage, no limit on living bomb.
Oh yeah.
That's stupid.
I forgot how fun that was because Living Bomb didn't used to have a cap and you could spread it back in Wrath.
Yeah, but now
do it again and it's just silly.
Yeah.
Which is why we got nerfed 20% almost across the board.
Hunters got buffed though today.
Yeah, we got. Let's see, who got buffed, who got nerfed. So Hunters got buffed.
Rogues got buffed a little bit.
Holy no got buffed.
Oh god, our discreet. Well, Matt can talk that.
Look how happy he is down there. Look how
Hunter's
I didn't
feral.
know that man could smile. I think
that.
just flips over.
My face hurts.
It's I don't use these muscles.
So one, this is the best time to be a priest, a discipline priest. Your strategy right now is to do nothing but spam Holy Nova. Use your shields and cast them on everyone and just Holy Nova the rest of the time as filler. I know it's sad, but true. Don't worry, it's not going to be indicative of your level 100 performance or player or whatever. Don't worry about that. But seriously, it's kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I love circle killing spam, especially during late Burning Crusade. I know it's not very engaging. I also liked it with Renew spamming back then. So all you young disc priests out there, you've got a few weeks to enjoy it, relish it, slam that Holy Nova. So, yeah, it's a nice break and repeat to just do mindless healing without actually thinking about it.
Be sure to move which button the spell is on every couple of hours so you don't
know, don't get a cramp on one. So like I like to use like one. Sometimes I'll use my mouse one, my left click, or my space bar.
So
Like I'll
what
just
if you-
rewind it every once in
Why
a
don't you
while.
put it on like wheel mouse?
Oh,
wheel
that's
scroll
true.
up.
Mouse up and
Oh
down.
my god, yeah. I'll put it to
yeah.
the hunters. That's a great idea. I should do that.
The hunter.
But-
hunter.
Anyway, so there's like 3 weeks left in this expansion before Warlords arrives, and yeah, I cannot wait until this expansion is done. You know, it's time to turn the page on Mists. So don't know about you guys, but I'm just tired now.
Well,
So,
our people are excited to farm the mounts because now we're like, oh, hey, we're going to get it every week. So, okay, let's hurry up and get this crap done. But everyone's way more excited about Warlords now and talking about it. Like I was kind of, it felt before 6.0, it was kind of like, oh yeah, Warlords is coming, but I'm not going to really talk about it. But now people are like, oh yeah, let's get our leveling groups together. Let's get this together. Let's, what are going to be our strategies for all the fights? I'm like, oh crap, everyone's actually finally talking about Warlords. Oh, if you
Yeah.
fancy that.
The
6.0.
fire under the keisters has been lit, and it's
Yeah.
exciting.
It's gonna be worse after Blizzcon.
hey, Will, I was going to actually
Yeah.
ask.
Yes.
So now that it's easier to kind of brute force the content stuff now. I know you mentioned that you were like the top dog, raid leader.
Oh yeah.
So I was just kind of curious. You know, have you assumed the title yet? You know, what's it like being the cat herder? Are you the master of puppets now, so to speak?
I am not yet. I'm like sort of slipping in there after the expansion's over. So I'm just letting them handle the, farm content for this time, and I'm not doing it. But we are talking like structure and who's going to be doing what and all that other kind of stuff. So we're talking like ranged officers and healing and this and that. But
Structure leadership.
Do you guys
Yeah.
have guild meetings? I was
Nope.
gonna ask that.
No.
So
Yeah. We do a monthly meeting and just kind of go over what's going down, and it was kind of nice to hear like what the actual like solid plans are for Warlords and like the loot changes. We're changing loot from loot council to a open role, which I hear you're
yeah.
not much of a fan of there, Matt.
oh, straight up open roll or not even
Straight
like
up-
main spec.
Not
spec?
even
Wow.
feeding gear to tanks or healers. They straight up said,
Whoa.
well, we can either heal harder or we can get hit a little softer or we can kill it faster. So why give anybody the priority?
Oh.
The expectation is we're a team and respect each other enough to make that judgment call.
Yeah, we'll see how that works.
No.
We're all just like,
In my 10-man, it worked. We had open roles, and I
Right.
actually really liked
Yeah.
it because we were tight enough. And I think 20-man can still do that. 25 kind of gets a little too big, and there's a little too much jealousy. But knowing that, like, hey, I got this piece, so I'm gonna let so and so have the other piece that we're vying for because I got one, and there was just a lot more camaraderie and less gear animosity,
was that
I guess.
open role or is that still loot council?
It was something that like people would do, but it was
Right.
never an actual like rule.
Because it sounds like loot council, but it's more democratically open because it's not like
Yeah.
slash random, right? When you say open
Well-
roll, I'm thinking slash roll, and then
that's
whoever gets it
what I'm thinking
gets it.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
I think she's saying it's more like, well, there's only 2 agility classes in the 10-man group. Okay, I got the this ring off of this thing. I'll let you get the trinket. My fellow agility user off of this
Yeah.
next boss or whatever. So again, with a smaller group, we can.
Yeah,
Do
okay,
that
that's
kind of-
Yeah, like
friends.
I
That's
could
totally
roll on
fine.
every single
Right.
piece, but I'm not that much of a douchebag.
right. I
You're
know.
like,
and
hey,
understand.
I got the last piece. I'm not even going to bother rolling on this one because I respect you as a fellow player.
Yeah, I think
Right.
in most cases in my guild, about maybe 3 out of 4 cases, people kind of do that. I kind of encourage all the agi users, the casters, to work out loot ahead of time. Like, I'm gonna go for this one. You're gonna go for that staff. I'm gonna go for that sword, whatever, and just people have an idea of what they're gonna shoot for. Loot counts only steps in like 25% of the time, and that's on like trinkets. God, I hate doing trinkets.
Some
Right.
weapons.
So, yeah, trinkets and weapons are the
Weapons.
worst. Or 4-piece bonuses. Holy crap. That takes forever to do. But yeah, so it's not that far off. It's fairly similar.
See, my favorite loot system, which is not one that the guild is implementing, is EPGP. So I don't know.
Oh man, dude, if you're talking a full-on fledged loot system, my favorite one is give all the gear to Matt and let him sort it out. I love it. Best one ever.
Honestly, the fastest looting system is my favorite because I got shit to do. I don't care about the gear really.
But I mean, like the reason we do it the way we do is because we kind of look ahead. We know what the fights are coming up, so we look at, oh, this fight's going to be a DPS check. We better
Right.
stack our DPS a bit and give them the hard hitting trinkets or the whatever gear that does that the most. Or okay, in about 2 more bosses, this is a healing check. Let's make sure we gear up our healers a bit more and give them that extra throughput that they're going to need to help us survive. So that's kind of how we look at it. We kind of plan ahead and make sure that we're all equipped to contest whatever bosses are coming out.
Yeah.
It's happened in multiple different types of like either loot council or whatever.
I call it
just-
Mad Council.
I mean, I've been in one of my old raid groups where it would be like something would drop and we wouldn't stop. Like we weren't allowed to stop to look at the loot. So like we down a boss and we'd be like yay, and then we have to keep running to the next trash. And then the raid leader or one of the officers would loot, and then they would discuss in O chat who's gonna get it.
Yep.
And then they give the reason why, but a lot of it would say, okay, well, we're going to look at the attendance spreadsheet. Then we're going to look at, did this person bring their own flasks and food? Did this person do the rep they had to do?
Did they die in a fire?
Exactly. Like, no, they really did. Like, they had these spreadsheets, and they were just like, okay, the reason why we're going to give it to so-and-so is because they have, 98% attendance. They've never had to ask us for food or flasks. They've never died to anything stupid. They've never been late for a raid. They've never, it's just like, it's basically like a... you show up and do the work, you're going to get the gear first kind of thing. It's just
They never made Mad Grumpy.
And it worked in my guild because then you didn't want to be that guy that missed raid because with that piece of loot drop that you wanted and you didn't get it because you did something else that night. I mean, that wasn't going to be you.
Is this person a hunter?
Oh, it's all hunter loot.
Hunters are terrible. So yeah,
Well, they
I
were.
mean, it just depends.
Now
I
they're
guess everyone's different. Every raid runs a little bit differently. So if it works, it works.
Speaking of raid stuff, how has your guys' Sam and Matt's dealt with the whole roster thing? 30-man roster down to 20-man.
We're keeping everybody on right now and just doing swaps. Like my guys are really big on spreadsheets so we don't have to waste time while we're
spreadsheets.
raiding. Yay, spreadsheets. Ours are awesome because they're full of inappropriate gifs and they're amazing.
Oh, gifts. I heard gifts.
Yeah, gifts.
Yeah.
Gifs.
Like what?
Gifs.
With a T.
GIF. GIF. GIF.
I had to cut 7 people.
You actually like cut them,
Yeah.
said like you
Full
are
on,
not ready.
yeah.
Wow.
Sorry, yeah. So that was a tough week for me, but had to be done. So unfortunately, Blizzard kind of handcuffed us with reduction in raid sizes. So I didn't really have a choice, and it's like I can do it now or I can do it later. And I respect these guys enough to give them the time now to look around for other guilds to join while there's still time to get situated. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying I could just skip over and join your guilds right now and get a raid
You
slot?
could, in theory, yeah. there's room, yeah.
No, so you
thank
have a better
Snatch Starts.
you have a better shot coming to my guild because they're basically doing performance-based raid spots come Warlords, which
Right.
again doesn't let them decide right now, hey, I mean, they actually have told a few people, like, you're probably not going to make it, that kind of thing. I'm not saying 7 people. I was surprised at 7, but
But Sean,
A
I'm the
couple
guild leader.
well, yeah, they got
He's
that
the raid leader.
that too. I'm the raid leader. I can decide stuff
Yeah.
too.
See, but I'm still
Yeah.
really lazy right now. Like, I don't know if it's my procrastination that loves to kick in or what, but I haven't applied to any guilds for Warlords yet. I'm still super lazy. But because a lot of it has to do with me, like, being able to check out the random stuff in the game, stuff that's changed. Even, like, the little, the small things in the game. Like, when I did Blackwing Lair, and I killed Nefarian, and then you get the Nefarian's head for the quest item that you would get back in the day. And actually, let's say instead of going to it's a go to Orgrimmar, but it'll say Vol'jin instead now, since he's the war chief. So it's like those little changes in the game that I'm always looking out for, and it's really cool to see that Blizzard takes the time and even goes back through even something like Blackwing Lair and updates the quest text and the little things like that to make it so it's a lot more appropriate for the content that we're playing in. But again, the smoothness of the game is something that I can't get over with 6.0. I've really enjoyed it. Also, the stack size thing. I don't know how much that's impacted you guys with stack sizes in your bags, but I think it's one of those options that has just been really flying under the radar, but it's having a huge impact in the game. It's one of those things where it's like, finally, like, I don't have to, even with everything, with questing and other things you're doing as you're going about playing the game, especially with questing, you start collecting these things, or you're doing professions on your way or whatever, and it's just things just tend to add up in your bag, and it's just not the case anymore. Or the little the regions tab, the ingredients tab basically in your bank. So you just right click on the bottom tab and you'd hit like deposit all,
reagents.
Yeah, like reagent stuff. And
having
just
the space is nice, but I still think of stacks as 20 because like I was talking to Sam, I was like, oh yeah, I did this with 5 stacks of and I was like, oh wait, well no, technically it's 1 stack, and they're like, oh yeah, I knew what you meant, but consumables didn't stack up any higher, and like I'm one of those people who keeps like 500 potions in my bags, and yeah.
Is that on your spreadsheet?
Your bags are terrible. Your bags are
Shush! Terrible. They're better. Kind of.
But do you have like 22 slot bags?
No, I have royal satchels across the board, even in my bank, and I have like 4 bag slots. Had. I have more now. I have like 12.
Void storage is like completely full.
Almost.
Yeah.
No, actually, it's not, because I torched a lot of gear because I was running out of space, especially every time I left server. There's a lot of stuff I got to go farm back up.
But yeah, it's been fun. I think, like I said, I think the stack resizing option was great. Something people are really going to take advantage of, and it's one of those little things that when people join the game, I know it's going to sound weird, but they're going to be first-time players for Warlords, and they're not even going to know the struggle of what it was like to have smaller stack sizes and having to deal with the inventory boss, which was constantly plaguing us for years and years in this game. So, and have you guys done any questing at all since 6.0?
Just the blasted lands stuff.
I mean, like low-level questing. Have you guys done anything like that?
Yes, on my priest, which is, I think the priest is disc at this point because it's just easier to level as disc. I'm in Northrend. I'm in Charlotte's Art Basin.
So you liking it so far?
The questing has been fine and good, and I'm killing stuff easily. But when I go into dungeons, no, it's bad.
The dungeon grind is not the same. No, you're right. No, it is not the same. So, but I do like the smaller quest numbers, like when you're out doing quests and you're killing mobs. The numbers obviously are a lot more compressed now, and it's it feels a lot more like it used to feel. So I'm really digging that. That's really, really cool. And I used to think one of the things I loved, again, this is small little quirks about why I love this game, but I log into like Thunderbluff and my frames were like 100, like 100 frames, and I'm like, everything looks so good and beautiful, but now everything looks that way no matter where I am, and I'm like, yes, like this gives me more reason to just smile every time I look at the screen, which I probably look like a fool doing, but it's just one of those things that I really appreciated Blizzard taking the time and doing that, because it definitely makes a pretty big difference. So yeah, that's the rub. So here's the deal. We have 2 more shows, and then BlizzCon's gonna happen. Yes. So the plan is, so you guys know for ahead of time, next week we'll probably do some kind of Halloween-ish show, and maybe we'll even dress up. Who knows? We don't know that yet. It's a mystery. It's
maybe
TBD. But the week after that, which will be Tuesday the 4th, we will have a BlizzCon review type show where you guys can, a lot of us have gone, we can give you tips, tricks, things that we'll be covering this year, things to look forward to. If you haven't done anything to prepare for it yet, it'd be a good time to do it then, getting your rides, super shuttle, blah, 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 blah. So there's a lot of things to cover, so we're definitely going to get you taken care of on the BlizzCon front. So that'll be on the 4th of November, which is a couple days before the con itself. So if you're traveling, you can always listen to the podcast or recommend it to a friend if they're a first-time attendee. So other than that, shout-outs, guys. Matt, do you have anything? Sam, you have anything?
Yes. I'm going to give a shout-out to my friend Yuki, because she's going to help me with my cosplay.
Yay, cosplay.
Yay!
Ooh, cosplay.
Hey, you'll get to meet her, and we'll be adorable, and you'll be jealous.
Boy. Will, shoutouts.
Yes, a true shout out to Ask Mr. Robot. They hooked me up with a premium account, and it's cool that they do that for content producers, and it really helped me going, like, taking a look at different things and theory crafting and looking at that sorts of cool stuff. So, yes, Mr. Robot. Thank you.
Nice. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Fabelina on Twitter. I don't know if you guys follow her or have seen her or not, but she's actually going to be designing a custom BlizzCon badge for me this year. She does some really, really awesome work. Her badges are actually pretty expensive. They're only like $18, and then she can do customized background, and spell effects are only an additional like $5.
Nice.
So it is super, super affordable. If you want to check out some of her work, you can definitely go over to her gallery, which is located at fabelina.deviantart.com, and I'll have Matt put that link in the description of the video, so you can go check out her work. And for maybe next year, if other people that do badge art are full, or you want to give her a try because she does some really amazing work too, certainly someone to look into. So that's going to do it for episode number 36 of The Edge. Can't believe it's like 8 months? Oh, God. However, you can head over to blizzpro.com for the show notes on this episode, or leave us comments there as well. If you'd like to contact us directly, you leave us your feedback, positive, negative, or just give us high fives in some weird-ass way, you can email us at edge@blizzpro.com. You can follow the show, edge_BlizzProTV, and of course, you can see underneath our beautiful faces all of our individualized Twitters. But until next week, guys, we're out.